Companies often conduct more than one interview before hiring. The first round usually includes general questions to get to know you. So we'll start by focusing on getting help answering those types of classic questions. Let's try one together. Help me answer, tell me about yourself for a job interview. Absolutely, Chris. Let's shape an answer that feels authentic, professional, and magnetic for interviews. The tell me about yourself question sets the tone, so your goal is to connect your story to the role while showing warmth, competence, and focus. Here's a structured approach tailored to you, a master project manager, writer, and course creator with rich storytelling and leadership experience. So once again, this particular GenAI knows me well. It knows my history. It knows my resume. It knows what I like to do, what I currently do, what I've done in the past. So let's see here what the structure is and then how it automatically personalized it for me. You can easily get your GenAI to do this for you as well. All you have to do, for example, is upload your resume and have a conversation with it about what you like to do, what you're capable of, what your skills are, what you do in your current position, what you've done in the past, what you've volunteered for, anything that you can think of that would be relevant to this structure that you're about to see. So it gives you a structure that it calls the 4-part flow: present, past, future, and personal touch. So in the present, who are you professionally right now? In the past, what was your key background and experience? Future, why are you here? And the personal touch, a short, memorable detail that humanizes you. So this is an example answer that it has customized specifically for me as an example to show how to put this structure into practice. Now, there are optional adjustments that it offers depending on the role. So, for example, if I was going for a project management role, it suggests that I say things like, I'm at my best when I'm bringing order to creativity. If it's a communications or instructional design role, that would shift my focus. I specialize in. If it's a leadership role, like maybe I'm going for a director or vice president or something like that, I've learned that leading projects is really about leading people. So what you get here is a structure and then an example answer customized for you. And then, okay, well, you haven't told me what role it is you're applying for, but if it's a PM role or a communications role or a leadership role, these are different changes that we could make to what I gave you in the example answer. Would you like me to help you tighten this for a specific type of job, like project management, voice and training, or writing/communications? I can tailor the tone and phrasing to sound perfect for that interviewer's perspective. So you can just keep following this through and refining it as needed until it sounds exactly the way you want it to sound. Another common question you might get: how should I answer, what are your greatest strengths and weaknesses? The response is excellent. That's one of the trickiest but most powerful questions to get right, Chris. The key is to sound authentic and self-aware, but also strategic, showing that you know how to leverage your strengths and actively manage your weaknesses. Let's break this down into structure, examples, and a few versions tailored to your fields, and then project management, writing, training, etc. So here's the structure. This is the most important thing, because no matter what your strengths or your weaknesses are, this structure will help you remember how to respond to that question when you're actually sitting in the interview. 1. Strengths. Choose 2 to 3 strengths that match the job description and show impact. Use quick examples or proof points, like, here's how I've used that strength to help a team or project succeed. Number 2, weakness. Choose one real but non-fatal weakness, something that's honest but doesn't undercut your core job functions. Show what you've done or are doing to improve it. The golden rule: end with growth and progress. So what it's done here is it's given me a sample answer based on either a project management or communications angle. So if I were going for a project management position, for example, and then it gives me a variation if I'm going for a creative or writing role, and another variation if I'm going for a training or instructional design role. Tips for delivery. Once again, very important and repeatable no matter what your strengths and weaknesses are. Keep it under 2 minutes total. Use confident but natural language. Don't use buzzwords. Smile slightly when mentioning your weaknesses. It signals that you're comfortable with growing. Always land on a positive note. Show learning, not guilt. And then it asks, would you like me to tailor your version for a specific interview? I can write a version that fits the exact tone and vocabulary that those interviewers expect. Well, if you want something more personal for yourself, so maybe this doesn't apply to you at all, or maybe your Gen AI doesn't actually know you well enough to already assume that it knows the kinds of things you're talking about, you can simply give a more detailed prompt like this. How should I answer, what are your greatest strengths and weaknesses? I know that I'm really good at learning new processes by watching narrated videos, but if someone gives me a process to read with no visuals, it's harder for me to pick up. I'm fluent in both English and Spanish, and I can read Italian, though I don't speak it very well. Please give me a personalized response based on this information. Perfect, Chris. That's a great foundation for a memorable and authentic answer. You're offering genuine self-insight, which interviewers love, and it naturally lends itself to a strong strengths and weaknesses pairing because it shows self-awareness, adaptability, and continuous learning, all of which are highly valued traits. Here's a polished version of how you can deliver it naturally in an interview. So here's the personalized sample answer. One of my greatest strengths is how quickly I can learn new processes, especially through visual or narrated formats. And so it gives the same information that I gave in my prompt, how I learn things, that I'm fluent. And then if I had to name a weakness, I'd say that I sometimes need extra time to internalize written instructions that don't include visual context. So from this little bit that I told it, I got a wonderfully structured, personalized sample answer. And then further, it explains why this works. It's honest but strategic. Your weakness is simply a learning preference, not a liability. You end by showing initiative and problem solving, turning it into a strength. It also subtly highlights your communication, documentation, and collaboration skills. The bilingual mention adds value in a way that broadens your appeal without derailing the answer. And then it asks, would you like me to create a shorter 45-second version too? Whatever answer you get back, think about how you could tweak either your answer or the prompt. If you're having trouble coming up with a weakness, for example, you could ask the Gen AI to share some common examples that people often mention in job interviews. Try things out. Ask questions. Each time you do, you'll learn what feels natural to say and how to put it in your own words. That practice is what allows you to be genuinely yourself and fully prepared for answering interview questions. Next up, we'll look at some of the more tougher questions you might be asked and how a Gen AI can help you make a strong impression on your interviewer when you answer them.